It is week 3 of our Christmas card series. Hi, this is Kelly with Kelly's Creative Dream Studios, and I am still working in the Winter Gifts Paper Pumpkin Kit from November of 2019. We've worked with the cardinals, we worked with the snowflakes. Today we're working with the Christmas trees, and I've kind of changed it up just a little bit. So here's what one of the cards looks like. Now I have done the first 5, and yes, I realize this tree is a little wonky. It's Christmas and it's handmade. But I'm going to show you some of the things that I switched up. Number 1, I didn't care for the greeting that they had. It was a gift for you. Well, since this isn't for a gift, I needed to change the sentiment up. So I used Season's Greetings from Our Home to Yours from the Merry Christmas to All stamp set. I don't have a date on it, but I'm pretty sure it's a retired set from Stampin' Up. There are 2 sheets in here, and I had pulled this because I thought I could use Merry and Christmas on here, and it was going to be too big. But then I thought, this is just perfect. I've also used May the Beauty of the Season Fill Your Heart with Joy for the inside sentiment, and I've done all of those, and it's stamped in shaded spruce, same as this is. Now the stars, it didn't have a star, it had a little loop. Let me see if I can find that picture again. You can see there's a little loop up here at the top to run your tag string through. Well, that wasn't going to work. So I snipped it off, and then I went in search of a star. Now I did not have a star punch that was going to be big enough. So I went into my dies, and I came up with a couple of options. First off, I tried Trim the Tree, and I thought I was going to do them in silver. And these were from Trim the Tree, and they're just too small for this tree. They just vanished. So then I tried the other one, and this one was from Words of Cheer, and it was perfect, but I still didn't like it in silver. It needed the pop. So I used Fine Shimmer glitter paper from Stampin' Up in their brushed gold, and I think it turned out just perfect. Now, one of the other things I did do with this is I layered it up a little bit. There were so many mats on here because this tag was so small that it just disappeared in just a single mat on the 4.5 by 5 1/4 sheet. So, or 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. There we go. So I decided to layer it up. So I did the shaded spruce on the bottom, came in with the basic white, and then I did another shaded spruce. But then when I did the next layer of the basic white, I brought it up on dimensionals, and you're going to see how we did that because I've done 5 of them. We have 1 to put together. So here's my kit. So let me start with moving my glittery stuff out of the way, and there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on the inside before I lose track of it. And I have all of the other components sitting in here, waiting to go together. So let's do this first, and then it'll be moved and out of the way. Now, it shouldn't take us long to do this. I have pre-stamped everything. I've die-cut everything. It's a matter of gluing it together. But you know how, best laid plans of mice and men go. So we're going to lay this in. Now, I've cut this from 32-pound copy paper because it gives me a nice finish on the inside without the extra weight of the cardstock. And we really don't need any more cardstock weight on this thing. So I'm going to go ahead and glue the components together first. Then we'll do the mats. So I've already put the star on top of the tree. And it looks like it's going to be a little wonky too. It is. Let's see if we can fix that without tearing it too much. I'm going to re-glue that with just a little bit of my Tombow. And part of the reason is my tremors were bothering me. I've had kind of a rough weekend with my nervous system. So I think that's going to be a little bit more centered on there. It looks much better. Okay, so we have that. And I'm going to sit down and I'm going to try and stay in frame. So first thing I did was after I stamped the Season's Greeting sentiment on this, now they showed using the pool party side. I didn't like the pool party side. It just didn't seem to go with anything. And I'm not sure why they brought Pool Party in. And I'm not sure we're going to use it elsewhere. But what I am doing is trying not to forget where I'm at. Taking the red strip and laying it behind, just like that. Trying to make it kind of even so I've got the same amount of red hanging off the end on each end. And then that will be ready, and then this will be ready. Now I am going to go ahead and put a dot in here in the center of the snowflake. And we had the iridescent sequins. And what I did was I planted one of these iridescent sequins in the center of the snowflake. Now on the other ones I did it after I had the snowflake in place. But I want to put this on here and give it an opportunity to dry. And we're going to set this aside. Okay, so there's that. Now, let's talk about our layers. We have our base, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Then our next one, our white base, is going to be 4 by 5 1/4. That makes it a 1/4 inch smaller all the way around. And I may be out of frame down here, but I'm just running the glue around the edge. And then I run a diagonal strip through there, and then I'm just going to try my best with my trimmers to center this as best I can on the front of the card. Okay, then we have the shaded spruce piece. This is 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. Now I'm going to put these measurements in the description box and on the blog post, because you could use this format with anything and put anything on the front of this card. Any image you have that you would want to stamp and put on the front of here, you can do that with these. Now I'm going to go ahead and layer these up as soon as I get rid of the glue off my fingers. We're going to go ahead and layer this one up first. Now this one I did dust with shaded spruce around the outside edge. And see, they had Pool Party on the back of this. I'm not sure why that was. Try not to get glue everywhere or ink everywhere. I have to be gentle because these Velcro dots from Dollar Tree are not hanging on very well. Okay, so this one goes in the front of this green panel. And this one is, the white number 2 is 3 by 4 1/2. And it's going to go, no, this one's 2 1/2 by 4. Sorry, this one is 2 1/2 by 4. And then this one is 3 by 4 1/2. And that's where this green is going to go. This green is 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. And it's going to go right in the center of this white panel. Just like that. Sometimes when I go to push down, my trimmers make me move things and it drives me crazy. Now we're going to flip this over. Got some goobers on the back, but nobody's going to see that. Now we're going to come back in with our dimensionals. And we're going to put one on each corner. So how's everybody been doing? We've had really super nice weather here. And it's already changing. It's already cooler this afternoon and tonight than it has been for several days. And we've got some rain moving in tonight. I'm not excited about that because I still haven't had a chance to go out and pick up my leaves. I had hoped to take some time to do that over the weekend between doing the house stuff, getting the Halloween crafting stuff organized and put away. And I've had some nerve issues in my right leg this week. And it comes up every once in a while. Usually when I've overdone it, and I did 6,665 steps on Friday, and I could feel it. Okay, so we're going to take and just center this one in the center of that other green mat. So to recap, we have a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 base. Then we have a 4 by 5 1/4 white mat. Then we have a 3 1/2 by 4 3/4 green mat. And then what we've layered up on dimensionals, this white mat is 3 by 4 1/2. The green is 2 3/4 by 4 1/4, and then this one, which came in the kit, was 2 1/2 by 4, and well, I've trimmed it down to 2 1/2 by 4 so it would fit. Now we can come back in with our Christmas tree. Anybody see where I laid the Christmas tree? Here it is. And I did bring this one up on dimensionals as well. Now I cut these so that they would all be tent cards this time. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to put, I need to put a little bit of dimensional up here on the top of the tree. There's not a lot of room there, so I'm going to come down here. And then I'm going to come in with a piece of this. And you can see where I've been trimming it, actually. I'm going to go ahead and use the dots on this one, because I don't have a piece big enough to lay this one. So I'm going to go ahead and use the dots. I have a kitty hair on my finger. Thank you, Dandy, or Tabby. I said Dandy because Bob and I were talking about Dandy this afternoon when he got home. Okay, so now we can take our dimensionals off, our papers off our dimensionals. I have been working on my book this weekend, trying a new system for my outline, and I'm going to be doing a video for that over on my author channel probably next week. And that my author YouTube channel is linked down below as well. Okay, now this had an extra piece, extra layer of branches on it, and because of where this needed to go, I had to take one of those layers off. Now we can come back in with our sentiment strip, so as we can get the glue out. And I'm going to use my tweezers to pick this up so I can get a hold of it, because I have trouble picking things up with my fingers that are little. Okay, so there's that. And now I can come in with my snowflake and put a dot of glue right in the center. Whoa, I got a little carried away with that glue. It came out all at once. And I'm just going to kind of tuck it back here and let it, I get it to turn loose, get the tweezers to turn loose. Hold that in place, hold that in place, and there we go. And that is card number 6 of our November 2019 card collection. Just like this. I will see you back here next Monday when we are going to be working with, or next Tuesday rather, when we are going to be doing, we're going to be working with the stag and the sled. And I'm going to have to print out a sentiment for the front because I want it to say Blessed Yule. So we're going to see if I can get that to work, or at least Yule on the front, because the stag is a symbol for Yule. So I want to go ahead and do that. In the meantime, we have 6 more cards added to our collection. I hope you've enjoyed this today. Remember, I will get the dimensions down in the description box and on my blog. And in the meantime, please remember to like, to share, subscribe, and creative Christmas blessings.